Hi, my name is Lipson. So I was born into like a normal family, but when my father passed away, things started getting complicated.
Hi, my name is Charlene and I'm 24 years old. My family used to have 2 houses, but now I stay in this 1-room flat.
Let me show you how I used to lock myself in.
Come, let me show you my house.
This is the handicap washroom.
Yep. Okay, so let me just show you around. So the reason why I chose this place in particular, because there's a fan here as you can see. So there's also a sink here which I used to freshen up, and sometimes if let's say I couldn't shower in school, there's actually a bidet here where I could use to like freshen myself up or just shower real quick. So these were the railings I was actually talking about. So usually the railings, if let's say this was my uniform, my jacket, I'll just hang it here to air out. The toilet, I would just put down a seat, sleep, and just maybe most of the times, if let's say they just wash the floor, I'll just sleep like that. Or if the floor was still dry, I'll just lean against the wall, use the jacket, and just put it around my head, and then just sleep, hugging my back. So this is mainly how I survived in the toilet.
So over here is my bedroom. I used to just sleep on the floor, but I finally upgraded to a bed. And then over here is my working station. It's like where I used to edit and work from home. Yeah. And then if I want to eat something while watching a movie, I can just do it here. And then over here is my clothes. After I finally earned money, I went on like a very big shopping spree. So that's why it's a lot. But everything further, this is not me. Okay, so all of this is not mine. It's all my parents' stuff. And over here, it's my mom's workstation. So this is where she like does her work. And over there is my parents' bedroom. Yeah, so the one room is for them, it's not for me. I sleep in the living room. And over here is this is the kitchen area. So I usually eat here. And this is the bathroom. And because this house doesn't have a stove or like a actual kitchen stove, I use this induction heater to cook my meals. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, it's very small, very cozy. And yeah, my house.
Were there instances where people knocked on the door or people suspected that you were staying inside?
Oh yeah, definitely. You are always on high alert. Even when you're sleeping, the slightest noise can wake up. Let's say if someone is just walking nearby, you just get startled awake. You can't really get any proper sleep. Quite a few times where people like knocked on the door asking like if there was anyone in. So back then I would just pretend, sorry, I'm using the toilet. I pretend to flush the toilet. I'll like apologize, sorry, I had a stomach ache, and I'll just walk out. So that was when I knew that, okay, there's time for me to change, because if, let's say, the cleaner or someone saw that, this is boy always staying in the toilet, I was worried I'll get reported to authorities, so that's why I would jump around from place to place. Sometimes I would go to like malls such as JCube, nearby 24-hour fast food restaurants as well. But for those malls, I had to be careful because usually there was security guard and patrol, so that's when I had to remember like their full 24-hour schedule. For example, their patrols, when they would check the camera. So the most important things to me back then were a place where there was shelter, not too many people frequented the area, a place to freshen up, as well as a place to charge my phone.
Okay.
According to a study by the Institute of Policy Studies, social class is now the sharpest divide in our society, separating Singaporeans even more than race or religion. On social media, it may seem like many Singaporean Gen Zs are living the life, going on graduation trips, buying a lot of things, and generally just living a good life. But there is a hidden segment of our generation that is living life on hard mode, from squeezing into rental flats to facing homelessness. So today, we want to find out, how are these Gen Zs navigating an environment that feels stacked against them? And is it truly possible to succeed against the odds? Let's find out. Hello,
Oh, hi!
Can I come in?
Oh yeah, can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Hi, nice to have you.
Yeah, I think this feels like a very familiar environment because I used to live in a one-room flat also.
Oh,
So
okay.
I feel like the space constraint can really be a very inconvenient thing. How was life back then compared to now?
Back then, my family used to be in about upper middle class because we had like 2 houses, we had 2 cars, we were living a very comfortable life.
What happened? Is it overnight?
It was a very gradual change. It started with my mom not getting any business because she used to be a real estate agent. So after she stopped getting businesses, she tried to go for a lot of different business ventures.
Okay.
And it all failed. And then both my grandparents had cancer at the same time. My grandmother had breast cancer and my grandfather had lung cancer. So the cost of like all these cancer treatments, everything just stacked up.
So for yourself, how long did you take to really adjust to living in a one-room flat?
I was okay with everything, but the thing I couldn't stand was, at the time it was a very big heat wave in Singapore. And somehow this rental flat, like we have a lot of buildings around us, so there's really no wind, no ventilation. So like for the first few months, sweating so much.
In Singapore, it's quite hot. So because in the park, there's a lot of natural things. So it would be quite cooling at night. Yeah.
Right. So what else would you do in this park?
So I would, since it's in the park, obviously I would jog because I believe a healthy body is a healthy mind, as well as to tire myself out. Because like, as I said, you're always on a high alert. It's very hard to get proper sleep. So I felt like the only way to get proper sleep was to really tire yourself out. So I would run. And sometimes I go around looking at like the plants in the different trees. Because I had a journal. Then at the end of the day, when I'm in the toilet or when I'm alone, I'll write in my journal. So these were some of the things I used to do at the park. As well as there used to be like a exercise station where you could do pull-up bars, lift weights, everything. I used to do that as well.
Was there a location that was at the top of your list? Are you
Oh.
think like, it's my favorite so far?
Because to me, I like the idea of like sleeping on the hammocks or like on the beach on the warm sand. You go close your eyes, you fall asleep to sunset, and then when you wake up, it's sunrise. It's such a spectacular view. As well as usually at the beaches, they have like shower areas.
Earlier on, when your family was going through all these very turbulent times, you was actually still quite young, right? Were you in school back then?
I wanted to help my mom with the finances. So when I was studying, I was also working at the same time. I was doing everything I could.
So how about your daily meals? Do you have enough to even pay for your daily meals?
It was very hard. I think the worst that it's ever gotten was when I couldn't eat anything for 4 days because it was during my final exams and I had no time to just start working while studying. So I was really like stretching myself as thin as possible to just survive.
So when you do eat, how do your meals look like?
During my ITE days, I'll eat like this. On Monday, I'll eat 1 cup noodle for my lunch. I'll skip dinner and then I won't eat anything at all for the next 2 or 3 days. But in poly, I had to make sure I eat every day during the canteen so I don't look suspicious in front of my friends.
Means you were kind of like hiding it from them. Did they know about your family situation?
In poly especially, it's very complicated because I was in film, and so if you were seen as like a financial burden on the team, you might not get picked to be in a good team.
So for my daily meals, because I was in school at that point of time, I was doing my N-levels. So one of the things I used to do is, since it was N-levels, I was studying late in school. Then usually the canteen aunties and uncles, they see me studying, or usually when they have leftovers, they'll be like, Abaya, come, I give you free food. Another thing was, some fast food restaurants, they have like this app where you can scan and collect points. So when my friends go out to eat, I'll ask them like, oh, can I scan my points and redeem like points? No, because they give you like free items to eat. Whereas I did work here and there during my studies. I go to the very door store, I pick up like a can of tuna, some biscuits. Usually biscuits per packet is about 50 cents depending. So I use that, like those little tidbits to survive. I drink lots of water mainly.
How about hygiene?
Those HDBs got in renovation, or the HIP renovations.
Yes.
Yeah, so there'll be like a communal toilet downstairs, which I usually would take advantage of. Another thing was, usually I'll go to laundromats. So believe it or not, actually, laundromats, most of laundromats are usually coin operated, cash operated. If you look under like the washing machines, there's actually like a whole bunch of coins that people drop and don't bother to pick up. I'll use this change to wash my own clothes. That's how I kept hygienic. Yeah.
Was there a particular moment where you were like, I don't think I can keep doing this?
Definitely, there were definitely many times where I just want to give up in general. I didn't know how long I could take it. The isolation, the loneliness, especially such a stressful event that could predict my life, my N-level, my O-levels. Back in my secondary school, I got the best in progress. I was the head counselor. But why didn't anyone acknowledge me? There's no one waiting at home for you. There's no one to ask you like, oh, how are you doing? How was your day? You see people at fast food restaurants, at libraries, parks, they're having fun with their family, they have kids, there's laughter all around. But yet, when you look around you, there's just nothing. You have no family, no friends. You don't even have food.
So those were really tough times. Did you have anything to help you cope with this, all the emotions you were feeling?
Yeah, of course. So back then, I had a scrapbook. Also, this scrapbook, I'll write down my thoughts, my emotions, what I was thinking at that time. For example, was this chocolate wrapper. So this chocolate wrapper, I remember back then when I was still homeless. My partner back then and me, we found this like limited edition chocolate at 7-Eleven, but I was homeless, so I didn't have money. And she saw the look in my eyes. She told me wait outside. I was waiting outside. Then she came outside. She had something behind her back, and then she pulled out this chocolate bar. I was like, I felt like all the burdens on my shoulders lifted. I felt like it was just a moment I couldn't explain. It was just filled with so much hope and happiness. And this made me realize that there's still a fighting chance. I still have a chance to have a family. I still have a chance to have a life. I still have a chance to experience things, and like not everything is over for me. And I had another thing as well, which was my headphones. So my headphones, I remember I made an online friend, and she came over to Singapore. So we met up, and then I told her about my story because she asked me like, oh, what am I doing, you know? And she bought me headphones because the thoughts would get so loud, it was just like echoing back at you. So music helped me to cope with those thoughts. And it helped me feel more at home, especially when I was sleeping, it would get noisy. So all these things really reminded me that like, there's still people that care about me. I shouldn't end things, you know. There's a chance, there's hope. Even if it's the slightest bit of light, there's something I can look forward to. Yeah.
So these are bits and pieces of hope that you bring around with you every day you go.
Yep, even to this day, I still think of them, I still use them.
So do you tell your friends or teachers about your situation?
At first, as I said, no, because again, it felt like I don't have the social anxiety, you know, like what if people saw me as weird, especially because I was homeless, then they might think, oh, he doesn't have a place to shower, so he's smelly, or it's like he's weird, or, you know, yeah, I could have stayed at those organization shelters, but the problem was that usually you have to be there by a certain time, and there's only a certain number of slots. Because back then, I had to work for my food, you know, I had to find a way to earn money. So it was a bit challenging for me to reach on time, as well as, again, there are only a certain number of slots.
How did you specifically turn your situation around?
So for me, I made sure to like study like crazy. So I will study really hard so I can get like academic rewards, bursaries, and I even made it to the director's list. I was the president of the Design Studies Club, as well to like help with my portfolio. Yeah, so everything that I was doing is to really make sure that I am the best fresh grad or the best new hire that the industry will see.
What are you working as now?
Right now, I'm working as a content strategist at SGAG. So I pitch the ideas, I do the script writing, I do the directing on set. My family has also cleared off the debt, and we have a BTO coming in 3 years.
So if there is a Gen Z right now watching this and they feel that their life is on hard mode, what would you say to them?
I would say that your starting point doesn't define your destination, that it's gonna be painful, you're gonna starve for a while, and you're gonna have to work while others sleep. But keep going day by day, and eventually you will succeed in Singapore.
When I posted my story, like highlights, and then people started like reaching out to me, I realized that, oh, you know, it's actually okay. Like everyone comes from different backgrounds, everyone starts from different beginnings. So eventually, when my friends offered help, I accepted it. We managed to find a place for me to stay. It was about 400 a month, which was relatively quite cheap. So yeah, I'm quite thankful for them. When I took my O-levels, it was near a single digit if I remember correctly, and that's how I managed to get into biomedical science.
Congratulations! And what is your plan for the future?
I hope that I can finish my diploma, and once I finish my diploma, become a contributing member of society, help those that were in the same position as me, help my friends, you know, like kind of repay like the kindness they given to me. And I guess like the important thing is just to keep going. You know, it's not about like the cards they are dealt with, it's how you deal with the cards. You don't give up, you end up somewhere, you end up in a better place, definitely.
It is stories like this that often remind us that what we deem as ordinary is something that we should be grateful for, and that resilience and hope can grow even in the darkest of places. And I hope that this episode can serve as a good reminder for all of us that our starting point and our circumstances don't define who we are and what our future is going to be. With grit, with perseverance, I am sure that we can achieve our own definition of success. I'm Urong, sending you lots of love and strength, and see you next time on the next episode of Gen Z Crash Course.